Canada's Olympic hockey journey at the 2026 Winter Olympics has turned into a story filled with pressure, drama, and unforgettable moments, and their latest performance proved exactly why this team is considered one of the most dangerous squads in international hockey. Coming into the knockout stage, Team Canada looked unstoppable. They had dominated the preliminary round, finishing as the top seed and sending a clear message to the rest of the tournament that they weren't just contenders, they were favourites. Fans expected confidence, control, and clinical wins. What they got instead was a heart-pounding battle that tested every ounce of their resilience. Their quarter-final clash against the Czech Republic started exactly how Canada wanted. Early puck movement was crisp, the forecheck was relentless, and their superstar line immediately created pressure. It didn't take long before the breakthrough came. A perfectly timed offensive push led to the opening goal, and suddenly the Canadians looked ready to run away with the game. The crowd buzzed with excitement as if they were witnessing the beginning of another dominant Olympic performance. But hockey is unpredictable, and momentum can flip in seconds. The Czechs refused to back down. They tightened their defense, intercepted passes, and began to challenge Canada's speed through the neutral zone. A turnover changed everything. One quick counterattack, one accurate shot, and the game was tied. Just like that, the energy inside the arena shifted. What had felt like a comfortable night for Canada turned into a tense battle. When Czechia later took the lead, it marked the first time Canada had trailed in the entire tournament, and suddenly doubt crept in. The Canadian bench leaned forward. Coaches shouted instructions. Players tapped sticks against the boards, urging each other on. Canada's response showed why championship teams are different. Instead of panicking, they increased their intensity. Nathan McKinnon drew a crucial penalty with his speed and strength, forcing the opposition into a mistake. On the power play, he delivered again, blasting a shot through traffic that found the net and tied the game. The equalizer wasn't just a goal, it was a statement. Canada wasn't going away. They began to dominate possession, firing shots from every angle, testing the goaltender again and again. Yet despite controlling much of the period, they couldn't pull ahead. Time kept ticking, and tension kept building. Late in the third period, with the clock becoming Canada's biggest enemy, Czechia struck again. A precise attack ended with the puck in Canada's net, and suddenly the favourites were minutes from elimination. The arena fell into a stunned silence broken only by the cheers of Czech supporters. On the Canadian bench, faces tightened. The reality was simple: score soon, or go home. With just over 3 minutes remaining, Canada found its lifeline. A shot from the point flew toward the net, and in the chaos in front, a perfectly angled deflection redirected the puck past the goalie. The red light flashed. The horn sounded. Canada had tied the game. Players leapt over the boards, fists pumping, as the crowd erupted. It was the kind of goal that changes everything, emotionally, mentally, and strategically. Suddenly, the pressure shifted back to Czechia. Overtime was coming. Overtime in Olympic hockey is pure intensity. There is no margin for error, no second chance. One shot can end months of preparation and years of dreams. Both teams skated cautiously at first, knowing a single mistake could be fatal. Then came the moment that will be replayed for years. Mitch Marner picked up speed through center ice, slipped between defenders, and lifted a beautiful backhand shot past the goaltender. In an instant, it was over. Canada had won. The bench emptied. Sticks flew into the air. Teammates mobbed the goalscorer. The relief was as loud as the celebration. The victory sent Canada into the semifinals and guaranteed them a chance to compete for a medal, but the celebration was mixed with concern. During the game, Captain Sidney Crosby had taken a heavy hit and left the ice, heading to the dressing room without returning. For fans, that moment was chilling. Crosby isn't just another player, he's the emotional core of the team, a leader whose experience and composure have defined Canadian hockey for over a decade. The uncertainty surrounding his condition instantly became the biggest storyline of the tournament for Canada. If he can't play, the team loses more than talent. They lose the voice that calms the bench in tense moments and the presence that opponents fear. Even with that concern, Canada's roster remains stacked with world-class talent. Connor McDavid has been electrifying throughout the tournament, piling up points and dazzling fans with his speed and creativity. His performance has already placed him among the most productive players ever in an Olympic tournament featuring NHL stars, a remarkable achievement considering the level of competition. Every time he touches the puck, defenders back off slightly, wary of his ability to explode past them in an instant. His chemistry with teammates has been one of the biggest reasons Canada's offense has looked so dangerous. This Canadian squad represents a perfect balance of generations. Veterans bring experience from past Olympic runs, while younger stars bring speed and hunger. Players like Kyle Marker anchor the defense with intelligence and composure, while forwards combine skill with relentless pressure. It's the kind of lineup that can overwhelm opponents when everything clicks. Earlier in the tournament, they demonstrated that potential with a dominant win in which multiple stars recorded multi-point games, proving that Canada doesn't rely on just one hero. They can beat you in waves. What makes this run even more special is the context. This is the first Winter Olympics in more than a decade featuring NHL players, meaning fans are finally seeing the true best-on-best competition again. That raises the stakes for every country and intensifies every matchup. For Canada, a nation where hockey is part of identity and culture, expectations are always sky high. Anything less than a gold medal performance feels like disappointment. That pressure can crush teams, or forge them into champions. The quarterfinal thriller may ultimately become the defining moment of Canada's Olympic campaign. Not because it was perfect, but because it wasn't. Champions are often revealed not in easy wins but in the games where everything goes wrong and they still find a way. Canada trailed. Canada was nearly eliminated. Canada faced doubt. And Canada survived. Those are the nights that build belief inside a locker room. Those are the nights players remember when they step onto the ice for the biggest game of their lives. Now the road gets even harder. Every remaining opponent is elite. Every shift matters. Every shot carries weight. Canada stands just one victory away from the gold medal match, but they know that talent alone won't carry them there. They'll need discipline, composure, and perhaps another moment of magic. They'll also be watching closely for updates on their captain's health, hoping he can return and lead them into the next battle. For fans around the world, this Olympic run has already delivered everything sports lovers could hope for: skill, suspense, and unforgettable drama. And for Canada, the mission is clear. They didn't come just to entertain. They came to win gold. If they manage to finish the job, this overtime,